Okay. Hi, friends. It's Michelle from Quimby Cottage in northern Michigan, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some knitting, so yay. If this is your first time, thanks for coming today, and if we have been chatting for a while, welcome back. As you know, I've moved from southern Michigan to northern Michigan, and it's been a bit cold here. You would think that means I've been doing a lot more knitting, but I haven't. However, I do have a lot of things I want to talk to you about. So let's start. First, I'm wearing nothing knitted, so there's that. But I am wearing my new favorite obsession, which is orange. I don't know if I talked to you guys about this before, but I am obsessed with orange at the moment, and I bought myself this new nail polish. I can't remember what it's called. It's Essie. I'll put it in here for you. Anyway, I bought it like maybe 6 weeks ago, and I love it. And then I found this old sweatshirt that I actually rescued from the Goodwill. Sabine was going to get rid of it. And so I'll talk to you about some more orange in a little bit. I'm sitting on the porch. Mr. and I have done some gardening, and I garden at my cottage, but I also garden at Grandma's. So we did Grandma's first because she's a little bit fussy and it's easier to just do hers and be done with it. And we worked on ours yesterday, and I inspired Mr. to spring for this giant tree. It doesn't show up very well in here, but like you can see it goes to the ceiling. We do have a vaulted ceiling because this is the porch on the side of the cottage, but it's still quite big. I'm going to have to turn it, and it's not potted right now. It's just sitting inside a bigger pot, and we're going to have to do some real soil, etc. in it. But isn't it beautiful? I love it. It does add a bit of drama, and it makes us feel like we're on vacation, like in a tiki bar or something. And to that end, let me tell you, I have an espresso machine. I have had one ever since we took the kids to Paris, before we bought the cottage. So a long time ago. Anyway, this is now a new one because it did last a long time, but not forever. And this is an iced coconut coffee. So good. I was dragging a little bit. It's kind of cloudy, but it wants to be sunny, and I was starting to feel a little bit tired, and I decided, why don't you and I have a nice chat, and I'll make a nice coffee, and then, I'm sure I'll perk up, right? Okay, so again, I have nothing knitted on, but I also have nothing finished, except that, I don't know if we talked about it before, but I made this in my class. So I took an embroidering on your knits class from Bloom Handmade Studios, and it was through the Tatter Blue Library. It's in New York City. Let me tell you, if I ever get back to New York City, I'm definitely going to spend a day there because that sounds super fascinating to me. Anyway, we did this swatch, and then we learned how to embroider, and I just want you to know that, so we did the word blue because the letters all show, like there were several different techniques, and these are the letters that were perfect for that. But then also, I'm sure the Tatter Blue Library was probably one of the reasons why. But either way, I did it. I jacked up the E a little bit because I was in a hurry to keep up, and so I didn't quite count correctly, and that's fine. And I pulled my B a little bit snug. Also, she gave some techniques. I used 2 threads, but I think I should have probably used 3. So these are all things that you learn as you take the class, right? And practice. So I'm very happy with this swatch. But let me just tell, this is the back. And I just want you to know that I now want to write, my initials, like words. I see it like along the collar. I could see it like here, also on the sleeve. Like there's a lot of possibilities now. This opens up a lot for me. So I'm going to be thinking about this, and we'll talk about it some more, I hope. I don't have any specific plans at the moment, but now that I have the skill, you know how I feel about putting just another tool in your toolbox. So if you get a chance to take those embroidery classes, I think it's great. And if you don't, I think if you get a chance to take these embroidery classes, that's great. I don't know if they have any more, but I'm sure that we'll be talking about it some more. So there's that. Okay, on the needles. I still have not finished my socks from Natalie of Remembrances Pottery, but I did get, so I think last time we stopped here at the heel, and I needed to do the Afterthought heel. So I chose this orange, and then there's a very clever technique. So I really like this, and I'm stealing it and using it in every other Afterthought sock from now on. Anyway, I started, and I decided to reverse the bottom. So on the one that's done, the mushroom is red, and it's surrounded by white. And I decided on this one, I'm going to surround it by white, and then the mushroom inside will be white. Did I say that right? I don't think I did. I'm reversing this color work, okay, on the inside here. So I'm not very far, but that's my plan, is to reverse this color work. We'll see how well I do. Anyway, I'm this far, so not very far, but it takes a little bit of brain space to do this, and I haven't had the time to sit down and read the charts. I'm pretty tired at the end of the day here, friends. I actually have a little alarm on my phone to make sure that I go to bed at a regular time, and I've been okay about following it, but I'm tired. I mean, I go right to sleep, essentially. Lights out, just like that. So that's where I am on these socks. And the pattern is out now, and it's in French, so I'm not even going to try to say it. Champignon. That's for your benefit. Anyway, I'll link it below, as you know I always do. I love them. Sarita's going to take them. So there's that. So that's on the needles. The other thing that I have actually gotten a bit of work on is my half and half triangles shawl that the Caddy Jacks girls are doing. I hate to be a copycat, but I really, really want that shawl. I've been seeing it around, and I just decided that I wanted it, and it is super easy to knit, so we'll see. So I have, these are all the short rows that I have completed. These are all the short rows I have yet to complete. You can see there's quite a bit done, but not really. So I'm working on that. Here's the thing, though. The yarn I chose for this is whatever the Webb's Highland wool, I think it's a fingering weight. And I also decided I wanted to carry mine with mohair, so you can see it has a little bit of fuzz to it, which I'm glad about. I chose two colors that they had. One was this color, and then there's another that's kind of a forest green color, because, you know, blues and greens look really good on me. But I had sort of a hankering for this orange. Wouldn't this be great with orange? Or does that look too like FC Cincinnati? Anyway, I would absolutely have to go. If I decided that I wanted to go with orange, I would have to choose a different yarn, because this yarn doesn't come in an orange. And that's right now the only thing that stopped me from moving on to orange. You know, we all have our things. So that's what I have in progress, really, those two things. I have a sock that I have not worked on at all, so we won't talk about it. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is clothes. So I have a pair of old Tommy Hilfiger jeans that I bought back when we lived in Pittsburgh. So that was 2 houses ago. And they're 100% cotton. They're just jean. There's no stretch in them. And how do I know? Because when I gained a little bit of COVID weight, they didn't button. True story. Anyway, I like them, but at the moment I now just use them as like working jeans, because I have worn kind of a hole in the knee of one leg and the other one is trying to go, and they're just best for working in the yard. So I just leave them here at the cottage. I use them to work in the yard, and it feels really good to have those. And I'm happy to patch them. It's fine. Well, a few months ago, I think I had to buy a new pair of jeans because I had a pair that I had been wearing, and they kind of wore a bit in the seat, and so I patched them, and then they wore a bit in the knees, and so I patched that, and then they started to wear on the inner thigh, and then I was like, you know what? I need to be done. What I did before I got rid of them, though, is I cut the legs and any of the fabric that had not worn through and that was pretty sturdy still, I saved so that I could use to patch other jeans. So I had another pair of jeans from that same company, Land's End, because I know that you people come here for your fashion. That's right. That's right. I buy Land's End jeans. Anyway, I had another pair that were also starting to wear out in the inner thigh. So I patched those today with this like sashiko method. And there's the old jean is inside. And I put it outward so that if it wears through, there'll be still more jean. And I'm hoping that nobody will notice this. I tried to make it like kind of, it's not invisible, but I tried to make it not obvious. And I had to do both sides because it hadn't worn through yet, but I just, anticipation. And what is that saying? A stitch in time saves 9. I'm trying to save that. But so while I'm happy that I did that, I'm happy that I patched these jeans. I'm happy that I am able to use them longer. It did make me look at the two different pairs of jeans. The one pair that was just denim and then this pair that has a lot of stretch to it. I don't remember how much I paid for the just denim ones, but these ones are Land's End, so they were, not terribly costly. Maybe, I'm sure that I would have gotten them on sale, so maybe like $50. I don't know. But the point I wanted to make was this. The jeans that are just jeans are wearing a lot better for me than the jeans that are stretch, like the fashion jeans that have a little bit of stretch to them. And I've been listening to the Clotheshorse Podcast. I don't know if any of you listen to that. They talk a lot about sustainable fashion and things like that. And I think, obviously as a knitter, that's something that we all think about a bit. But it's made me think about the fabrics that I choose. I don't really like to shop. I like to look put together, but I just want it to magically appear in my closet. I don't spend a lot of money buying a lot of clothes because I like to have a very curated wardrobe, except for sweaters, because you guys know I have a lot of those. So it just made me think a lot about the kind of jeans that I need to buy and how they wear. And even though I know that jeans are not exactly sustainable, they use a lot of water, not to mention the labor issue, I know that I will always have a pair of jeans. I like them. They're a good working fabric. You can use them for lots of different things. And as somebody who strives to buy fewer things, I think I will always probably buy jeans. I'm not going to learn to sew them. We all have our limits, and that's mine. But I think the next time I buy jeans, I'm definitely going to strive for those Levi's Levi's makes a brand of jeans that are supposedly more sustainable. I don't know if all their jeans are that way or if there's just one line is, but they're a lot more expensive than jeans that I normally would. They're a lot more expensive than clothes I would normally buy. However, if they last as long as those jeans that I bought in Pittsburgh that I'm mending and still wearing today, and again, that was probably, no, that's a lie. I bought those jeans in Cincinnati. We lived in Pittsburgh and I wore those jeans there. We lived in Cincinnati a second time and I wore those jeans there. And now we live in Michigan and I'm still wearing those jeans. So we moved to Pittsburgh when Sarita was in the 8th grade, which means I probably bought those jeans when she was in 7th grade. And she has graduated from college now. So 4, 5, and 9 years. So I actually think 9 years is a good length for a pair of jeans to wear. These jeans I bought when we were just like partway through Cincinnati, and I'm already patching them. So we lived in Cincinnati 4 years. So I would say I bought these jeans and I've maybe had them 3, maybe 5 years. So I don't know. I just feel like probably I need to buy jeans that have no stretch in them because I think they last longer. That's where I was going with all of that. I hope I edit some of this out because it was a little bit nonsensy. And then another thing that happened when I got here, besides the gardening and the cleaning and the sorting, Mr. and I, the ceiling fans don't work here. And I'm one of those ladies who needs a ceiling fan on at night. Are you? So the ceiling fan worked on low, which essentially means that it doesn't work at all. It didn't it didn't help. So we decided that we would try to take them apart and correct it by doing the latch, like that pull chain thing. We were going to correct it ourselves, replace them. So both bedroom ceiling fans were broken in that way. And we're not really very handy. So I negotiated right off the bat that if we were going to try it, that I was going to get an ice cream cone out of it. Otherwise, I knew that we would be probably divorced. But anyway, as it turns out, we did replace both of the little pull chains. Neither of them works. They're still broken. So we had to buy new ones, and we're a little nervous to try and attempt to hang them ourselves. So we're hoping that a handyman will call us and put them in. And I hope it's soon, because if the weather starts getting warm here, I will melt or spontaneously combust in the middle of the night. I'm sure of it. So keep your fingers crossed for that. So that was an adventure, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there's 1,000 little things to do here. Not to mention the fact that we've been helping with Carl's parents a lot. Having the water turned on, we've been helping with Carl's parents a lot. They're 85. So I haven't had as much time to do fun things as I would like. One thing, though, is that my friend's mother died, and she was, I think, 92. And oftentimes what happens when you're a knitter is that people find out you're a knitter, and then they say, oh, my so-and-so loved one died, and they were knitters, and they wanted you to have these things. We wanted to go to a knitter. So I ended up with some of those things, and I thought I would unpack it for you right now and show you what's in it. Okay, so I have not gone through this yet, so we're going to be doing it together. But one of the things is this. There's a pattern for a crochet pot holder. I don't know. Oh, it says a dishcloth, but I think oh no, it is a pot holder. And you can actually make a big, large one, and you can put it around a casserole dish. So that's what this pattern is from. It doesn't say anything about where it's coming from, except that it was on page 20. I wish I was a better crocheter, because I actually kind of think this fabric is sort of cool. Look at what it makes. So there were 2 of these, and one of them has a ruffle on it. Look at. And then the crochet hook is included. And then this one is not even quite finished, because I'm sure she was going to do that little ruffle. And look, there's still some attached to it. So I think I'm just going to... Ooh! You can't just pull it, friends. It's crochet. Oy. I could unravel the whole dang thing. And then where would he be? So I have to, I guess, sort that out. I wonder if I could do a ruffle. Could I? Maybe. This just looks like a single crochet. And then you loop it again and then do a couple single crochet. I might try to finish this one. Wouldn't it be fun if I could finish it? But I do need to learn how to crochet better if I was going to do something like this. I know I can't line it up in nice, neat rows like this. I have not practiced my crochet since I was very young. So that's the first thing that was in there. And then there's this red heart worsted, no dye lot, so there's quite a bit of that. And my guess is that is to make this. Look at this sweet little, it looks like a Christmas stocking. It's not seamed well. I think I will re-seam it. It just looks a little bit, I don't know. And you know, this is acrylic yarn, and acrylic yarn doesn't really block. And then there's a little seaming that needs to be done at the bottom. So I might take this out and redo it. I mean, when you're 92 and you're still doing it, God bless you, right? But this would be super cute, like to put a handful of candy canes or something in and give as a little gift or something. I find this to be a little bit charming, right? So we'll see about that. friends. Oh, there's a bumblebee out on the porch. It's making a very loud noise. Do you remember these ruffle scarves out of this kind of yarn? Do you remember this? Look at. Oh my gosh, this would be so quick to finish up. You know, it ends up looking like, I don't remember knitting it so that it looked like this, do I? I think, well, I must have. What on earth would you do with it though? It's like a feather boa, but it's got sequins on it. Oy. This would be really quick to finish up. That bee is trapped on the porch. I hope it can get out. I feel kind of bad for it. Anyway, so there's this, and it smells like her perfume. So sweet. Okay, wait, actually there's little cards in here too. I don't think they went through this. I think they just looked at it and said, oh, it's knitting. It must be for Michelle. But there's like a bar of soap in here and some lotion, a little hand sanitizer. Cute as ever. Oh my gosh, the Christmas stocking. I just found the pattern for it. Look at this. It's all typed up in old-fashioned ways, like on this sort of vellumish looking paper. How sweet is this? Oh, friends, we have to save this. We definitely have to save this. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. The white, probably for the top of the stocking. And then, oh, look at this. It's another, look at, nice wooden needles. These are size 8s, several of them, probably for dishcloths. And how do I know? But look at this poor woman made so many of these little dishcloths and then didn't finish them up. Like, look at this one. Now, look, this is done. Ooh, I don't know what this is. I don't know how to make them like this, so there's probably a seam that needs to go here, right? I never do mine like that, but probably that's what this needs, this little seam right there. So look at that. So you know what? I'm going to finish, I think I'll put a, let's see. Well, oh my gosh. Look. Have you ever seen yarn like this come on a cone? I don't think I have. How great is that? So I think I'll add a picot bind off to this, a picot edge. Or maybe I'll figure out how to do that crochet one and add it to this too. Woohoo! Wouldn't I be fancy then? And then look, there's another green cone of cotton yarn, so for dishcloths. And then there's this little bit and this little bit and another of these kind of needles. Oh my, this kind of had a little bull. I used to call this a yarn barf when you kind of pull it and it just, a blob sort of comes out. Oh my gosh. Definitely look at, I think this fell out of the middle of this. But look at, it's kind of red, white, and blue, very nautical. A little more yarn. This is definitely not cotton. It feels acrylic. It feels really smooth and slick. But this is cotton. There's a lot of bits and bobs of cotton. More cotton yarns. A little bit of leftover here. Two patterns, the diagonal medley grandma scarf, or not grandma scarf, the grandma dishcloth, and then a checkerboard scarf. Look at that. How cute is that? Doesn't say where it comes from, though. The pattern doesn't tell us. Okay, that's one knitting bag done. One more knitting bag. Here's blue. Ooh, and look at this. Oh my gosh, this yarn is from 2008. It is called Patton's Divine. 76.5% acrylic, 10.5% wool, 10.5% mohair, and 2.5% polyester. 100 grams. It doesn't say if it's, let's see. Oh, it's a bulky yarn. And there's another ball. This ball, I don't know exactly what this is. My guess is the outside of this is, maybe not. Look, this yarn has a sparkle. And we don't know what this is either. So, that's all I have for you. I did forget to tell you last time about the Magic Knot socks that I made. So I'm just going to add this here to the end. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry I got a little chatty. Bye, friends.